So, Mikial, he's here.
You got your headphones right there, bud. Go ahead
He's
and throw
here.
those on.
He's got some phones.
You can move
you
that
hear
microphone
yourself.
anywhere to that you need.
Your mic is live.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There you go. You can,
Feels good in here.
You can move
Yeah,
that
go
mic
ahead
stand
and
wherever
pull
you
it
want.
up. Oh, you
Turn
just
me down a little bit in the headphones.
Yep.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
get it up a little bit more up
Get it
on
a
you.
little bit up on me. How you guys doing out there?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good. So, for those of you who don't know, Mikial is a solo guitarist. He's a solo artist. He is an incredible guitar player, guitar teacher as well. And he's now got a new project he's playing with, John Welton and the Awakening, which was the last song you heard on the playlist opening up. So,
James also forgot Shredmaster 5000.
oh yeah. I mean, there's not many. I don't call anybody and like, hey, can I get some lessons? Ever. Except Mikial. He's the guy. He's the guy for it.
You guys are too kind.
So
You're
I
too
guess
good.
tell us about what's going on with John Welton. Like how'd you score that?
Yeah, what's going on? All of a sudden, you guys just
That's
seem
a
to.
fun story.
You just seem to pop up into his band like real fast.
It's been it seems like that, but it's been a 3-year kind of thing. We met 3 years ago at a party out in Indiana in Bloomington. Well, we're in Indiana right now. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm usually in Indiana anyways. But yeah, this little Merry Prankster gathering where we play every year. We hooked up there, and for I was like 10 minutes out of the car, and we're already at a fire beside some fire pit, just jamming, on acoustics and hanging out. It kind of started there. And I was on stage when I jumped up and played guitar with them. They never do that. They had me up for a tune, and next year I got up, played the whole set or something, and they played the whole set the third year. And we just got on the phone on Monday, when we got back home and stuff. And
They went home and sat down and was like, holy shit, that guy who played guitar with us, dude, was incredible, is what happened. That's exactly what happened. I know the feeling.
I called him up. I loved his tunes, man. The guy writes a really good songs, so that's the pretty impressive part. We have a trombonist, Brad, plays trombone, so
Big band.
You never see that. Yeah, 7 people in the band. Lindsay's our female vocalist, and we got Eric Diaz from Hot Tuna, old drummer from Hot Tuna.
Nice.
Didn't they play that show? Hot Tuna, yeah. Ribblefest 05, didn't they?
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe they did.
Yeah,
The
Hot
fall
Tuna
one.
acoustic. It was
it
an
was the
acoustic.
fall one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's I joined the. I'm the last guy to join the band. He was in the band when I joined up, but.
So that's a fucking super group.
Yeah, it's really
Basically.
good, man. We got Jono on bass, still plays stand up, and plays some funky Olympic bass, electric bass too, and yeah, it's awesome, man.
Sweet. So, did you do stuff on that album, that new album that just came out?
Yeah, this is an interesting thing. Since I'm living so far away from the band, we did it over the internet. Like we'd probably do it if we now, if people are doing it, against their better judgment or against their free will.
Yeah, you're
But,
forced into it now.
We're forced into it, but yeah, we did it all over the internet. They sent me the tracks. I recorded in my home studio, my guitar parts, sent them back. They just sync them up,
Oh yeah.
and
That's
it
the
worked
beauty
out
of
like
it.
butter. It's what we had to do, so we did it that way. Half the album's live. There's 11 live tracks on this album, and then there's 11 studio tracks. There's 22 different songs on this album. This first album's a double album. It's
It
crazy.
sounds good.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sounds
sounds great.
Eric did most of the recording in his home studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, that's what we're trying to get into.
We
is
have an
more-
Eric with a home studio too.
Yeah, we do. That's where we
How
record all of our
weird.
stuff.
We have an Eric too.
But
Nice.
that's how.
With a K, isn't it? A?
It's great that
Maybe
we're
too
in that
much.
digital age.
His
you know.
is actually AIRICK.
Oh man! All right. That's
Air.
different. Never would have saw that.
Air
Rick.
Rick, like Air Jordan. But, jams with Mikial tonight. Come on, serious doobie. You know we're gonna throw some jams down. We're just gonna get inside the mind of this man, and we're gonna let you guys learn a little bit about Mikial tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It might make you just fall in love with him. You never know. This man has played every festival we've ever thrown as
Yeah,
well.
that's true, man.
Every
you guys have always had me
single-
on the bill.
Every single one, from even our You played whacked out little twig night at the on the outskirts of town out there in the
in that parking lot kind of like vibe.
Yeah.
The
Parking lot
Parking
jam.
lot
Yeah,
party.
That's
dude.
what it turned into.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was one hell of
That's
a
when I had
parking
the
lot
Quigley
party.
4x4 bus too. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
yeah,
That
it got
bus.
stuck in the mud.
No, it never got stuck.
No,
in
that
the-
was the box truck,
Yeah,
the
the
sound
box
truck.
truck. Yeah.
They
Stuck
dug
in the
themselves.
Mine never
in
got
the mud.
stuck anywhere.
Mikhail
Yeah.
came in with the monster truck bus.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep,
that thing was
he
crazy.
played Maydays at the Water Bowl. He did Stick Night at the Water Bowl. Tons of shows together in Muncie.
Yep. We did that
Countless.
water bowl, man. Was a lot of fun when it was up and running. I don't know what they're doing there now. Like,
I don't know.
I think somebody like owns half of that property.
yeah,
Like-
I know it got cut in half, but
Yeah, for sure. Like I just remember going by one day and seeing a house in the back, and I was like, "Whoa, where the fuck did that
Yeah.
come from?"
yeah, big fence and everything.
It's crazy bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So-
used to be huge.
Oh, it was awesome.
So I guess I want to go back to the beginning of Mikhail. What?
Yeah.
And building a shredder. So take me back to
The-
before
the
you even
making
played
of.
guitar. What is it? What?
well, that's
what?
kinda
What
rough.
got you going, dude?
Well, my mom is a musician, you know. Yeah, she's a singer-songwriter. She just wrote a new tune, and my dad kind of came up with one of the hooks in it, which is like a first. He's often trying to write jokes or make a good chicken, dish or something. Like he loves to cook these days since he retired. But yeah, my mom still writes tunes, and but when I was younger, she had the guitar. I was like 5. When I first started playing. I used to hang out with bands because my mom hung out with rock bands all the time when I was a kid. So I just grew up in rehearsal spaces, as a kid.
So you started when you were 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I started when I was 5.
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
had and I got up on set breaks and played, on set breaks when I was a little kid. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so they let you play with the band. They put you out there in front of people, made you get on stage.
My buddy Craig Walker had this band back in the day called The Clouds. He used to get me up in the set breaks. He was so good, yeah.
I'm just picturing Mikhail like little Dewey Cox,
I had this K electric guitar.
The 6-year-old playing the fucking blues. Like, man, what you know about the blues? Oh, I don't know, man. I cut my brother in half once, and automatic.
Yeah, it's
blues machine.
amazing, the talent. That's the thing you got to think about. Like, it kind of makes me think about it now because I'm getting online more, doing live things more, and because that's what we're all doing. And you think about when you're in your own backyard, it's a small pond, and you're part of this whole community that's like real, like you can actually talk to these people. They're within driving distances or pretty much. And I drive 5 hours to jam with my band, which is a big deal. But now, you're in a big pool. Like all of us musicians are in the same pool with the whole world now. So it's like when someone puts out a piece of music, you're like, your standards are not your standards, but what you're used to. The environment now is huge. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
the environment it's always been there, but kind of under the surface of our real environment, because that's where all of us really kind of want to be there. With some realness,
Yeah.
Go hang out in a big crowd. It's nothing like all that kind of fun. Oh, it reminds me, I don't even want talking about this, but yesterday I was at the grocery store. It's like nobody anywhere, right? But they're all at the grocery store, of course. Things are getting cleared off the shelves. I saw this dude almost get into a fight, over like just kind of giving the dude an eye. I was starting to think tensions are high, like randomly, like people are like freaking out, acting kind of weird, like friends of ours are doing things they'd normally never do,
Right.
know. But since we're on this lockdown thing, I'm like random access mode here.
Hey, no.
That's what this thing is
I
about.
totally
That's what this-
diverted from
that's what this
diversion
show is
back to
about.
reality.
No, it's
you know what I mean.
It's fine. You don't
But,
even understand.
yeah,
We
it
haven't
just
even
blew my
busted out
mind.
the
I
tin
couldn't even-
foil yet.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about having a website where I got the tinfoil hats and some other device I was coming up with. It'll come back to me later, but it's just the tensions are always sort of, under the surface, and now people are just ready. They're ready to throw down over a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
fuck
That's
yeah, they are.
crazy, man.
Oh, you got some toilet paper? What's up?
No, I don't. I don't know nothing, man.
Get him,
I don't have
Buddha.
anything.
Get him, Buddha. Shake him down. How many rolls of TP you packing out there, Mikhail?
Hey,
I mean, come on.
I kept it
Keep it
down.
real.
'cause- Yeah, I did keep it real. I didn't buy much more toilet paper than I normally buy, which isn't much. I don't eat a lot. So my whole theory is if you don't eat a lot, you don't use a lot of toilet paper
That's right.
because you don't want to find yourself under the thumb of the man. You know, they come to the front door with hazmat suits. Yes, sir, we're going to make sure you don't have toilet paper and you've been eating a lot of food.
Dude, I saw a post on Twitter the other day that somebody had
Handouts.
posted and was like, thank God for the corn farmers and like because you can eat the corn and then you can use this is like some senator or some shit, like you can use the corn cob as toilet paper.
You
So
can
it's
wipe
like
your ass with
eat
this
the corn
cob.
and then wipe your ass with the cob.
We got to stop electing people that wipe their asses with
It was
corn cobs.
crazy, dude. I'm telling you. It's like that's your advice right now. Eat corn, wipe your ass with the
He
cob.
must-
Fuck
He
off.
must be lobbied by the corn farmers for sure.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, right? He
Well-
just made fat off of that.
And it was pictures of a corn farmer, like in the middle of his field, holding a bunch of corn.
holding up a nasty corn
Yeah.
cob.
Oh,
See,
dude.
That's
proof's in
even
the
better.
pudding, he says.
It's very, very subtle way of saying go fuck yourself.
He had that
Corn
wicked
cob pudding.
smile. That's right. Shove this corn cob up your ass.
Go ahead.
Good
You see
grief.
this?
That's what I
Go
mean. People
fuck
are doing
yourself,
things they
America.
normally wouldn't do, right?
Yeah.
It's got
No.
people shoving corn cobs up their ass. It's so weird.
Well, King
Friend
of
mine was
Poop-
like tripping online, right?
King of Poop
Just
says,
totally strips down naked on Facebook.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but
Why would
yeah.
he do that?
Because he was high as hell, you know. He was like just totally tripping, you know. He was tripping, totally lost his shit. He's like, it's the end of the world. Who knows? You know, he's like, it's like he just
Who
watched
knows? He's gonna-
Contagion.
he's gonna show it
He
all.
just watched Planet Z or something, or like
Outbreak.
World Z or
Yeah.
something. He's
Oh,
like, I just want to get closer to everybody, but I can't, so I'm gonna get naked on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit. Buddha,
don't
you
know,
want to get
man.
naked on
Something weird
Facebook?
is happening.
You want to get
No, I
naked on
don't.
Twitch, Buddha?
I don't.
A few more days.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty good, man. I don't. I don't
Wait
have
till he
the
runs out of
urge.
ring
I'm-
dings.
I'm not. I'm not.
You
fighting
can
the
wear.
urge.
Would you play the set tonight with one of my? I'm wearing tiny little socks. Put one of my tiny little socks, Red Hot Chili Pepper style.
Oh man.
Play the bass naked, nothing but a sock.
No. I
It's just
look.
It's
man,
not that time yet.
Like, here's
still
the thing.
hope.
2
Here's
more
the-
weeks. 2 more weeks.
Humans evolved from little shit covering their junk to actual clothes. Like, can you imagine? Like, we actually evolved from loincloths and beating people in the head with clubs, like that we fashioned out of a tree limb, and having a form of communication other than grunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fucking did it,
We've
man.
come a
Look at
long
us.
way.
We're actually going live through a fucking cable that's
Yeah.
connected to a wall that goes out into a pole that sends it off into the entire world. And a matter of, James, what's our delay right now?
7 seconds.
7 seconds that all
Or
happens.
less.
Or less.
Via radio
That's
waves.
fucking crazy.
It's the future, Watson.
It is.
Crazy.
So, what do you think about 5G, Mikhail?
It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
We got 5G. We're connected with 5G right now.
Yeah, it's
We are.
fine.
That's what we're
We've been
Radar.
running 5G for a year and a half.
Now radar, that's the one I'm concerned about.
Radar.
Radar, yeah, especially 1950s radar.
Why's that?
Shit. Well, you've watched all the sci-fi films, you know. Those sci-fi films about the 50s. The radar is out to kill people. You know, they discovered radar was a weapon. They were cleaning the transmitters and all these dead birds up there were like fried chickens, pretty much, and hence the radar, range, and all those microwave cooking books with all those recipes. You can make casseroles in a microwave.
So
You
they
know, those
basically
racks are full
miniaturized
of
that
those.
technology and called it a microwave.
Yeah, they the same technology that we use to like find ships at sea. We used to cook a chicken.
Son of a
Nice.
bitch,
Not
dude.
us.
Holy fucking smokes, people. Mind blown. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Ralph, will you get me one
The
of those?
radar range.
So,
We
That's what
pass
they used
a
to
bro one
call
of
a
those?
microwave
I
oven.
got a little fun fact for you.
Microwaves.
Little fun fact for you. The little transmitter, the little transmitter that people have in their car for when they're going on the freeways to do the tolls, the automatic tolls. That is the same technology that was that makes up the theremin.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that they were talking about the guy who created the theremin was like a Russian scientist, and they actually bugged the U.S. ambassador's office under like some paper or something like that, and so they could just hit the frequency and get information.
Oh,
Like,
no shit.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
That
Pretty
is.
crazy.
Weird.
Have you
And
ever
that's
played a
like-
theremin?
Cross references between like technologies you didn't think would be connected to each other, but
Right.
they are.
The dots.
Connecting the dots.
Connect the dots.
On our next.
Have you ever
Segment.
played? Have you ever played the theremin, Mikial?
Huh?
Have you ever played the theremin?
Yeah, yeah. I used to have a weird. I played a theremin. I also had this thing made by Elysees, which was an air effects thing. It was orange, and you could, it had like it shot out like 6 laser beams.
Jesus.
Beams, and yeah, and you just by wherever your hand was, it would map that and change parameters. You know, which I thought was really sweet, and you could assign that through MIDI channel to be any parameter you wanted. You know, of any effect, like how much distortion, how long the delay is, just by moving your hand like this, or what pitch something is as you're shifting pitches, which is like the theremin. Woo, you know.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
That is pretty
I sold them
crazy.
I
That's
had to
pretty
get rid of
sweet.
them at a pawn shop. I was broke. Sold them at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
I bought some drums for like Steve-O back in the day with that money.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
Oh, that
Oh
was
my
the
God,
dynamic
dude.
duo, dude.
Yeah,
I
man.
forgot all about that. Yeah,
That's
Mikhail's
when I came
drummer.
out with the gate. Yeah, it was when I first started.
Yeah, he was a savage. He
He
was
was.
with
He's
you
a
all
really
through
good
all those
drummer.
months of years.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember seeing him way back in the day with like Catch Curtis. Be Here Now.
yeah. We did the Catch Curtis thing for a while. I got him into that little lineup too.
So
He was
what
a good
sent
drummer.
you? What sent you off the music theory deep end?
You know, I can't really put my finger on it. I guess it was, I've always kind of been a bit of a nerd. Like, once I started looking into Pythagoras, like, I got turned on to, like, the fact that he was the father of mathematics. We all learn about, you know, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But then we find out he's the father of music theory. So then you go back, you look at he's the father of numerology and, like, you know, all these esoteric things, which I'm not like super into pseudosciences, but you know, the concept that the universe, which is like I started getting into the etymology of things, because when I was kind of pursuing things academically, I thought etymology was a hip thing, you know, the study of words and the roots. So like una means one and verse means song, right? So I was like, universe means one song, you know. I'm like, whoa, my mind was blown. I started thinking along those lines and deciphering the meaning behind the words, you know, like music theory is ancient astronomy, which is when you realize that, you know, they thought that the entire universe was nothing but a bunch of strings. Well, actually, one giant string called the divine monochord is an old model of the universe. It's a really cool old lithograph I found, you know. Check it out.
Huh. So that's, you know, in that one song, universe, you know, it's all just a vibration.
Yeah.
So what we've been talking about, like our last stream when we were over here bullshitting, we were talking about we should start tuning to these different frequencies because we recorded a bunch of shit on our new album at 432.
Right.
So it's like, let's start, and there's all these different frequencies, the love frequency, the manifestation frequency, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it was like 417 is the love frequency. So it's
Ah.
like A at 417,
No way.
and then you tune off of that.
Well, that's fascinating. I like that idea.
And that's what we were gonna do.
Yeah, that was the frequency to ward off negativity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which
417.
allegedly is used to fight the 60 gigahertz that the
The
5G
60,
net is.
yeah, the 60 hertz.
Defeat the evil 60 gigahertz
the mind
demon.
That's right. The mind
Which
control
really,
frequency.
like I said last time, you know,
Oh, that's it. I see how it works.
we've been fighting
alternating
60 hertz
frequency.
hums, you know, with those 9-volt
They're
one
embedded
spots.
with-
You know what I
with-
mean?
with like,
Anytime you plug that in, you just hear that fucking frequency, that 60 hertz just.
You know what it made
pitch.
me think of is Independence Day, right? I remember I was in the beginning of that film when Jeff Goldblum, right? Goldberg?
Goldblum.
Bloom, right. All right, so he's like, they discover this signal, right? And he discovers inside of the signal an embedded message, right? So think about this. The 60 cycles that we use to you know, make alternating current in our electrical system, it could be like a carrier wave for embedded messages that are like traveling all around us electromagnetically, right? Affecting the molecules in our bodies.
Wow. Well, we are but a vibration in space
true.
and time, you know. One time, I mean, have you ever? I mean, I know you like to party, Mikial. We've had we've partied with
Yes.
Mikial for years and years.
That's
And,
true.
I mean, one time in specific, I remember we all ate a bunch of acid right before we got on stage and got really fucking twacked out. And then you sat in with us for that whole set. And remember that, boys?
Oh yeah.
It was insane. We got off stage and we collapsed afterwards. It
It
was
was really hot.
But have you ever seen, and it's in times like that that I swear I have seen what exists in between me and you, the space. Have you ever seen, like, what's in between me and whatever I'm seeing right here?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What's in between me
You
and
ever
my
seen
hand?
what the air looks
have you
like?
ever seen the air?
Right.
You ever seen the patterns and
Have you
Ever seen the air?
it just then you realize that it is all just like a fucking illusion, dude. It's all
What the fuck is going on?
Well, I mean, you know, one of the ways I always like to think of it and break it down is, you know, we're all atoms, we're all molecules that are put together, you know. so with that being the case, think of a TV screen that's LED and it's so many pixels, you know. The atoms are the pixels that create the picture of the person on your TV. You know, we are the image that is created within those certain vibrations and frequencies.
That's the interesting thing. String theory, right?
right.
String theory and quantum mechanics work together. Like those theories don't really contradict each other as much as far as I understand them, and they work together in my version of the universe, because the universe is like is strings, right? String theory is exactly this idea of these vibrating strings creating different frequencies, create different types of whatever, matter, I guess. But at any rate, it's like quantum mechanics is the connection between two different things. Two things that are like distances away from each other, but are related like with frequency. Like you tune this one to the same frequency as this one, and when you shut that off, this one shuts off.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of sympathetic vibrations. Like I used to like tune all the guitars in the store when I used to teach at a store to the same, like tune them like perfectly together, like one string on each guitar, right? And I get in the middle of the room with an amp and hit that note on an electric guitar and make all the guitars in the room just start vibrating. It was like, because it's sympathetic vibration, right? So the whole room, you stop the one and like, you hear the whole room go, just like decay away from it after you quit
Sick.
feeding it,
Yeah.
But it made me think of an idea, because if strings are vibrating, you can create a magnetic field with a steel string, right, and some magnets, and then you could actually, with the motion of the string vibration, produce electricity, right? 'Cause that's what a guitar does, right? So we got these guitars. I'm thinking, make them really big, man. Giant guitars, electric guitars, right? And put them all around each other, and like one in the middle, like somehow you get this one in the middle, like vibrating, like with a bow or something that moves with the motion of the earth, right? And it's bowing the string in the middle, making it vibrate, and all the rest of them are vibrating, producing electricity. The power plant.
It is pretty.
I just
Damn.
see. I'll tell you what. I see Mikial here in 20 years being Dr. Emmett Brown. He's gonna figure out how to turn a fucking DeLorean into a
He's gonna hit
time
one
machine.
a one
no
note
time.
one note teleportation device, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
so-
man, that reminds me. John Welt and I were at this gig, and we were in a state where you burn illegally, And did I say it right? Yeah. And so like we're looking for a green room. There isn't one. And it's raining outside. We look down the alleyway, and there's like this porta potty down there. It looks fresh, I'm like, fuck, let's go check that out. It's brand new. Like, this is a brand new porta potty. So John and I are standing in a porta potty in an alley, burn one down like it's a luxury hotel. And it was like, this is so fresh and so clean in here. No one's even ever been in this thing. It's brand new, because they put it behind a building they were remodeling, so it's like one of those. So no one's even been in there. It was like, we're thinking, what if somebody comes out? Like, how do we explain this, But it reminded me of a joke I came up with this summer when we were doing Pyro Fest out there at Ledges. And it's a teleporta potty. So if you get a teleporta potty, you go like to a festival, and they look like a potty. You go in there, but it's got like a little keypad, and you just like you go back to your house and use your bathroom, right? It's like nice because you're at your house, it feels good, and then you just teleport a potty back to the fucking festival. Teleport a potty.
That'd
That's
be
right.
sweet.
It'd be like
Until
Jay
some
and
wook
Silent.
ends up in your living room. Like,
They-
oh
the
man, I
song-
was just trying to take a piss.
They actually had the
Yeah, you get the wrong, like, oh, I'm sorry. You get the wrong number in there. You end up teleport a pottying yourself to some stranger's bathroom.
they had the teleporta potty not too long ago in the Fortnite with the superhero edition. They just had these porta potties, and you'd open it up and you'd tunnel into another porta potty somewhere in a
See,
different area.
Yeah, teleporta potties. It's the future, man.
It is the future.
It's coming.
the future,
You
Watson.
guys were on top of it.
Flying cars, teleporters,
Teleporta potties.
teleporta potties.
Yeah.
Mikhail's time traveling guitar. He's got that flying V.
So, anyways, I started playing guitar when I was 5 years old.
And we're back, folks. And we're back. We just shot to the edge of the stratosphere, and we're back.
Yeah. And, you know, I never took lessons, man, until I was, like, 19. Well, actually, I took one lesson when I was, like, 7. But I went, and this guy, like, opened up a Mel Bay book and, like, here's your first lesson. It's this, like, Mary Had a Little Lamb looking thing. And I'm like, I'm already playing tunes and writing songs, you know, about mowing grass and stuff I really felt strongly about, you know. But, you know, and I've got some great old cassettes somewhere laying around because maybe I was 11 or something, recording these tunes on a cassette machine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little 4-track. We had me and Ralph had a little 4-track task
Oh,
cam.
the 4-track task
Straight
cam,
to the
yeah.
cassette tape.
Oh, yeah.
So, with you being a pretty established guitar teacher, I mean, you've done it for years now. How would you break down music to somebody who's never played an instrument but wanting to jump in, and really wanting to actually like jump in and give it the commitment that it takes to learn an instrument? What would be your go-to, I guess, talking point with them to help them understand the concept of music behind it and where to go?
You know, the first thing I probably, man, that's fine. Feels funny, but yeah, I guess what I would tell everybody is like, it's about dancing, right? It's a dance of the fingers, or a dance for the people, the listener. It's a dance. It's a dance of melody and rhythm. Rhythm's a dance, melody's a dance. So it's all about this, you know, getting a groove, getting a rhythm, a heartbeat, and then harmony, which means to fit together like puzzle pieces, is about vibrations, and the simplicity of that is easy to explain, really, with, like, you know, if you had a few minutes and a string and you want to get deep and talk about overtones. But I would say that it's about having a dance. You know, it's got to have some rhythm to it. Music's about making people move, and an emotion, of course, right? Which is something that I'll talk about that I think is fascinating, that I often bring up as a philosophical conversation, is emotions are what we consider what make us human. You know, we can make AI make a lot of decisions for us basically during the day. You'd probably tell us when to poop if we needed it to. But, you know, sure.
It could
you
poop
know.
for us.
Yeah. I mean, everything's been taken care of, sir. But at any rate, yeah, you know, but it can't help you, like, get happy. Like, that doesn't explain happiness, or does it, right? Because that's where I draw the line. Like, as I study music theory, and I go, okay, what is a major chord? Okay, major chord is 3 notes, okay? But why those 3 notes? The word major, actually, by the way, means majestic. So when you play a major chord, you're playing a majestic, His Majesty's chord. It was considered, you know, real pious. It was God's favorite chord.
There you go.
Because it's like perfect harmony, right? So at any rate, you've got 2, 3, and 5 parts of a string. Those are prime numbers. Those are the simplest, purest divisions of something, you know, in the world that we can comprehend, you know, with our minds. So we look at this string and we divide down these mathematical divisions, these measurements. And we say, if I add this part to this part to this part and play that and hear it, well, that makes me sad. So I just took a bunch of numbers, threw them on a device, and then bummed me out. So I'm like, how's that true, right? Or made me happy or angry. Or I could feel the emotion that was trying to be expressed through numbers. So many beats a minute, this rhythm figure is 16th notes here, a triplet there. These are all just numbers. The fifth, the fourth, the third, you know. So it's all math. So math and emotion, they're not separate things. You know, it's a quantifiable deal. It's weird. That's all I got. What do you think?
I like it.
Well,
like it.
no, I mean, so when I hit up Mikial because he was the shredder around Muncie, you know, and I was stuck in this box and that I couldn't get out of. Every guitar player hits those walls where you just get stuck in what you're doing and you want to get out of it. So, and something eventually does. For me, it's always hitting somebody up and getting a couple things. And me and Buddha both called Mikial over and we're like, give us some lessons. So Mikial comes over to my house, you know, and he's like, oh, guys, we don't need guitars. We're not going to actually play any guitar. We're going to think about playing guitar. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But then it was literally, we busted out the pen and paper. You showed me and Buddha, you broke it down for us. It took like, I don't know, 5 or 6 lessons before I actually clicked with it. But what it did was it got me out of the 2 note per string box and it got me thinking about the patterns, and everything is just that major scale with a couple flats here
Right.
and there. You know, so it's just all about where you start and stop this, and then the little notes you put in between there.
Color, yeah.
And so it's like, I notice where a lot of guitar players, it's like you can tell who has and hasn't evolved yet to that 3 note per string thing. Because once you start playing 3 notes per string, you can do all kinds of crazy shit. It changed my guitar playing drastically.
Oh,
Then you're
yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna ascend in 4s. I'm gonna do, you know, I'm gonna ascend and descend in 4s. I'm gonna do a 3, a 4, a 3, a 4.
I see. There you go. Like, it's everybody's like asked, "Hey, do you think a whole bunch when you're jamming, or is it all just like your eyes roll up in your head, you know, and you just like, use the force or whatever?" And I'm like, it's both. It really is. It's both. I mean, there are moments when I'm like, the brain just comes on. I'm like, the triad here, like diminish this, you know, augmented from the 7 of that chord. I'm gonna play from the half step of the 5, a melodic minor passage starting on the flat third. You know, whatever.
Equations like the fucking
Shit's just
Terminator.
popping, you know what I mean? But other than that, then there's the muscle memory where the hand's just like
They take over.
whatever the hand does when it's thinking. It's like
Yeah, it has its own thing.
Yeah,
it
wants to
it
do.
doesn't think like I do.
Yes, yeah, I find with me, it's a lot of the muscle memory, you know, and then once you kind of realize like, whoa, I'm letting this be way too much of it, you know what I mean? Way too much of the substance, you know, and I'm, you know, then I start adding like making my brain work and adding the different things, you know, forcing things, you know, or you know, you got to at least try. It may not sound right, but you know, the number one thing about mistakes is you just keep doing them. And makes it seem like that's what you're trying to do, right?
That's what you learn from. That's where
You know what I mean?
That's where you learn some stuff. And I mean, Ralph was picking up guitar and he was learning. He was getting pretty good. But then I
Nice.
see him just start racking his brain. He's like, I think I've almost got it. And he's just thinking,
brain.
he's so hard. And he's like, oh, there is no note between the E and the F, and there is no note in between the B and the C. And I was like, Ralph, stop thinking about fucking notes, dude.
No, I
numbers,
had to.
dude.
I had
numbers.
to like that because when
Yeah.
I'm thinking about drums, it is a numbers thing, and I was trying to relate that to guitar, and you can't relate it to drums because you have a beat and then you have a beat in between the beat. But then when you look at like all the notes of the guitar, it's offset because there's no sharp to what is it? An E. E sharp is an F, but then you have F sharp into G. That shit was just tripping me out. So I was like, that
always
makes
trips
sense.
people up.
That's why it can't be exactly symmetrical.
It's
Because
asymmetrical.
in drums, everything is symmetrical. For me, at least, when I'm figuring things out, it's like you do symmetrical stuff and then you add an odd number. You know, like on a beat, you do a 5 or a 7 is a lot different than a 4, 6, or an 8. And it was just like I was trying to figure shit out. I was trying to come up with my own understanding, a map key of my own, per se, to know exactly where the notes are, what I need to play in them, and whatnot. But then I quit doing it because it was changing the way that I was playing drums too much. It's like I was playing a lot of guitar, more guitar than drums. I was getting pretty good at it. But then I get on the drum set, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like...
Thinking like a guitar
yeah,
player.
I'm like, I can't do this. It's weird. It just changed the way that I played. I don't know. Yeah, so I haven't been doing much of it anymore, but it is trippy. all the things you can do on the guitar. It's just like a never-ending hole.
Yeah, with the synthesizers, we can play drums on guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
He's-
play
he's-
guitar on the drums, right? Because with your electronic kit.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I got Fishman's triple play MIDI.
Yeah.
Because I went to Gearfest and I played that because I used to do the Roland GR55 stuff,
Sure, yeah.
which you're more than familiar with. For
You're
way
right.
better, probably know way more than we do about it. But
Or
so,
ever will.
but I just didn't like. I really liked it, but the tracking on like a lot of the organ and piano tones I didn't like. And then I went and I started playing around with the Fishman at Gearfest, and it was like the tracking was everything you dreamed of with the Roland just right out the box.
I couldn't get it. I had a triple play. I couldn't get it to work good, but it was an older one. You know?
Yeah. Well, they've got two different versions of the pickup. There's one that's got a little controller that's like this big, but then they've got one that's like the size of the GK3 that's,
Right.
you know, pretty big. And
Sure.
it's got more control. It's got the switches to flip to your guitar tone. The only problem is that you have to have your computer. That's why I don't run it on the stream because
Oh.
I'm using this computer for audio, but it's got all my MIDI stuff on it. So if I
Oh,
go
right.
live, I just bring this, run it, got all my tones right there.
Totally understand that.
And the tones are crazy, dude. Just the presets alone. And then all the different, you can pull in any kind of instrument plugins into it. So it's not just,
right.
you know, I can grab native instrument packs and load them into there and
Sure,
then
man.
control them with my guitar.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. And even with I have it on my whammy guitar. So when I start hitting the whammy bar, it picks up all of that.
Sure.
You know, it's like, woo. What's her name? Jennifer Batten?
Yeah, I know Jeff Batten. Yes, she did an album
Michael
with-
Jackson's guitar
Yeah.
player?
She did an album with, I think she did an album with Jeff Beck, and Jennifer Batten and Jeff Beck, and think about that.
That'd be
Yeah. Well, she's
ridiculous.
insane,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah, she's a mad scientist.
And even now, as like I see
She's
these videos of
fantastic.
her out there, old lady just fucking she'll pawn you, dude. She's an old lady
Oh,
that
yeah.
she was smoking hot back in the day too.
know what-
her
oh, yeah.
hair, dude.
But yeah,
Best
just
hair of the
making me-
80s.
Every time you call her old lady, I just get thinking, man, that might be my game. You know, I just like I put the fluffy dress on and everything, and the big glasses. I'll like kind of hobble in.
Yeah,
there
so
and just
actually-
shred their faces
yeah.
off.
Now that we talk about that, Mikial likes to wear mini hats, and he has mini characters that he.
He does. You never know what character you're gonna get when Mikial shows up.
So speaking of, he's got this character. What's this lady's character?
King Money.
King Money.
King
He's
Money.
got King Money.
Yeah,
so I
King
actually
Money.
have a video here that's queued up of King Money.
Right on.
So let's see what it's talking about. Here. So we'll move this here. We'll put this over here. We're going to play this video for you and show you one of Mikial's many characters.
Many characters.
Let's full screen this. Then we'll go over here.
King Money.
So this is Mikial's most recent character. King Money. Oh my God, he's here. Holy son of a... Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. King Money in the studio. Let's
Hey,
check out
King
his.
Money.
Let's check out his stuff. Let's see what he's got going on.
My goodness, babe. And Seth Hopkins joined in.
So this is from a live stream he did. Mikial does animations as well, folks.
That's my cheesy avatar.
Looks just like you.
Stacks of money in the background.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, went through a 6-pack on this episode.
Ooh. Went through a 6-pack on this episode.
Yeah, I was just throwing this thing together, like grabbing stuff off the net. This is royalty-free disco.
There you go.
Huh?
Got to, because
You can hear
Warner will grab that
Disco?
shit in a second.
Going, everybody. Welcome back to another King Money episode up in your face tonight. Feeling good. How's everybody out?
Good.
Contagion world of World War Z. Apocalyptic things and stuff. I was not making a Mad Max car, you know. Maybe something I've always wanted to do. I got the money to do it. Oh, nothing money. I'm gonna take that money. Question right now. You know,
Look at that.
money.
Mikhail's got toilet paper.
I'll tell you why, because
King Money's got toilet paper. Is that a kaleidoscope toilet paper?
Yeah, this is a toilet paper chip.
it's
Nice.
just like a figment of your mind, like a construct. But it ain't real. I wish they were right. Especially today, this weekend, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Day 45. Start date 36/27/47. What's it called? Another day in paradise. Cause, shit.
King toilet paper.
Yeah, you have it, folks.
There he
Yeah,
is.
tune in. It's gonna be like once a week. I'm gonna be going King Money with this one live. Probably get up on Twitch soon, man.
Yeah. Dude, King Money might be a hit.
Yeah, King Money's a hit.
Oh, what I do here, I broke everything. Okay, now I close this so it stops dinging.
King Money. So I keep hearing that. King Money.
So, Mikial,
Yeah.
Hold on, Buddha. Let me get your thing.
here I
working.
am. Okay, so
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Another-
hold on a minute. Let me go get Mikhail. I'm gonna and grab a beer.
Yeah, there you go.
all right,
So I'm gonna take a
all
break.
right, all
Don't
right.
King
ask
Money
me-
will be back.
This is
Yo,
not King
King
Money.
Money.
Headphones. There you go. All right.
King Money, he's
All right,
still
King.
attached. He's got nice hair.
He's great hair. Great hair.
Buddha, tell me a
That's the best that King can buy. You know what I
Buddha,
mean?
tell me a story about Mikhail.
Oh man,
Like we've played a lot of fucking shows together.
we
a lot.
have played a lot.
I mean,
lot of shows
since
together.
before we were 21, before we were even old enough to be in the bars, we were in the bars fucking around with Mikhail. And here we are, like, I mean, how old am I now? 11 years later, over 10 years. It's been more than a decade we've been fucking around with Mikhail.
Yeah, it's been awesome. There's too many good ones, man. Like,
Sup, Jay Murphy.
I remember.
And here, I'll take this time real quick before you do that, Buddha. Thank you guys for the subs. What do we got? DJ Jones, Glass Moon Man, Lysergic. I saw Takatelic giving gifts. Thank you guys all for
Oh,
the
damn.
follows. And back to Buddha.
Thank you, guys.
I'd have to say, I can't remember what festival it was, but I remember that we were all there and pretty well, like,
We got more of these, right?
pretty well 3 to 10 sheets to the wind. We were heavily sheeted to the wind, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. We're ironed out.
And I just remember just walking through the forest. I think it was down at Stable Studios somewhere. Just walking through the forest. I hear just this fucking grooving ass thing happening. Just like you can't help but move your head and bounce with it. And then I walk up and Kyle's just like, Kyle's just in this like field with a canopy set up and just like a tiny PA system and this pedal board that was the entire size of the canopy itself. The pedal board was bigger than the PA system. And I just remember Kyle up there just fucking getting it with the slap popping solo shit.
Right on,
Like,
man.
dude, that was awesome. You always seem to, you can just grab attention like that, and as soon as you touch a guitar, it's or any instrument for that matter.
Thanks, brother, man.
That's another really great memory I had. Jamming down there at the Tonal Caravan House in Muncie,
Oh yeah.
and I remember you coming over, and we were just, I think it was like me, you, and Bryce, and Stu. And I remember you just hopped on Ian's Rhodes, and just started like key smashing the keyboards and like making awesome music. And you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing, just just smashing these keys.
That thing was a nice.
That thing
man.
sounded so
He still
good.
has it.
I know
Yeah.
it sounds so good.
Kyle just looked at it and saw numbers.
For real. I mean, well,
Like, I see.
Because music theory, it's kind of based around that instrument
That
more.
thing's linear. you
Yeah,
know?
it's completely, it makes complete sense. So Mikhail, I know that you like to do a lot of 3D animation as well, and we were talking about one that you made of the Mousetrap, which Mousetrap's a bar down in Indy.
Which you frequent quite often.
Yeah, you frequent
do.
quite often,
That's
and,
my
and
place,
that's
man.
what I was gonna get to is you run this thing down there called the Family Jam.
I do. Yeah. It's
And
been
well,
going
right
on.
now it's a little tough, obviously.
It's not happening.
It's impossible.
non-existent.
it's
Yeah.
impossible.
It doesn't
It's
exist
really
right now.
sad. Yeah, well, all the guys are disappointed. You know, of course, we're all just doing what we got to do. But that's been going on for almost 10 years now.
Oh yeah,
the
I
Family
know. I've
Jam.
stopped down there
At
a
least
couple
10 years,
times
probably about.
and jammed out with you guys. You know,
Yeah,
it's-
man, on hat night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I came down on a good night. That's for
Yeah.
sure. You know, for the Family Jam, if anybody ever gets a chance to go down there and experience it, it's completely different than an open mic or something that anybody would think of.
Oh, it's
You know,
Mikhail leading
this
an
is-
army.
This is players. This is true players who come out there, and yeah, you know, Mikhail's there at the helm, and okay, we're going to start, you know, something funky. Let's get it going, and you know, hey, you know, and everybody's grooving, and then Mikhail just starts throwing out, you know, numbers, letters, you know, wherever we're going next, what kind of time signature, like what's going on, and God, it's an absolute blast, and hopefully, we'll do a couple of jams here in a minute where we just kind of let you take over and
You
and
tell us where to go,
us where
spit us
go.
some-
Oh, yeah,
And
man.
Throw
let's
some
get
numbers
let's get a
at
good
us.
fam
Oh,
jam
yeah.
here.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it, man.
So, do you remember the first time we met? Does anybody remember the first time we met,
I remember
Mikhail?
way back in the day.
God, wasn't it?
it
wasn't the water bowl, or was it?
Well, I feel like I remember the first time I don't know if it was the first time I ever saw you play, but you headlined a festival out at the Water Bowl that Turtle Matt did.
Yeah.
Dancing in the dark.
It was one of those, and man,
Yeah.
I remember it was badass because like you were headlining the show, and it was in that little whatever their small little stage there that
Pavilion.
the Water
Yeah,
Bowl
yeah.
had built, and that shit was awesome. That's like I feel like my earliest memory because that was before we did a thing, and that was like right when we started getting into Muncie.
Yeah.
So that might have been it around that time at least.
Yeah, but some of my earliest memories are those coming over to your guys' place and hanging out, doing those lessons together,
Yeah,
man. You know,
that
that's
was great.
that's when we all kind of started connecting as friends, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was fun, dude. Like
Yeah.
I said, that really broke down the wall, and I
Yeah.
still use a lot of that shit today. And whenever I'm like giving somebody some pointers, that's what I tell them is like, stop thinking about notes and start thinking about numbers, and everything's a major scale, and they're just like mind blown by it. And I'm like, look, if you start the scale here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it sounds like this. But if I'm playing, you know, if I'm playing a G major and I start here and I go 1 through 7, it sounds one way. But if I play the same exact notes and I do 1 through 7 on a G major, but over an A minor, completely different sound.
right, yeah,
You know, and it's but
Perspectives.
same fucking notes.
yeah.
It's the same freaking
I
notes.
just said people, it's like it's a path, right? It's the
Yeah.
same path, but you change where you're at, and so your perspective of that path has changed. And you look at it from a different vantage point,
It's crazy, man.
and the chord you're playing is your vantage point.
Wild.
Wild stuff.
Mikhail's blown my mind today.
Wild.
So we'll probably get started playing some music in 8 minutes. Probably about
Oh,
8 minutes we'll get started.
fantastic.
But we'll
8
talk some shit
minutes?
for a minute, drink some beers.
All right, I got a good question for you, Mikhail.
Sure.
What do you got, Buddha?
So I think I speak for myself and everybody else here, and especially in chat. What's your feelings on Bigfoot?
That's right. That
Is
we
he a
have to,
shredder?
we
Yes.
must know.
Is
Well-
Bigfoot a shredder?
Can we get some Sasquatch?
Big-
Can somebody hit a Sasquatch sticker?
Sasquatch.
Squatch life.
Yeah, my feelings is
Squatch.
the Bigfoot, a favorite mythological creature of Americana, culture, folklore, and we're worried about its natural habitat being at jeopardy. If he does exist, his natural habitat could be in peril. And if he doesn't exist, it isn't. But there's that possibility that somewhere in the out of focus area behind some rocks or trees.
He does. What was it that you said earlier? Bigfoot seems to.
He doesn't linger in the out of focus areas.
He does. He's a lingerer in those out of focus areas. That's for sure.
Usually cuddling with the smaller furry creatures.
Somebody needs to tell that guy no soliciting in
So-
those fucking.
Oh,
Look,
we
there
got
he
a
is.
Sasquatch
There we
sticker
got a
on
Sasquatch.
screen.
There he is. It's here.
He's
Serious
there's another one
doobie.
he brought his
It's a
friend.
family.
hilarious.
It's a family, dude. It is a family. Thanks for those slaps, Doobie. Thank you.
Shebang.
It was perfect for the combo. So do you think that like Bigfoots are where some? I mean, they've been around in folklore for all of time, basically.
Yeah,
Every-
but no
every
one's
culture
ever really
captured
captured one.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now, do you
he's a
think that
time
when
bender,
one
dude.
is? Do you think that two things? Either one, it is a real thing. People have killed it, and when they kill it, the government shows up to silence them for some unknown
Oh,
reason
that's a good
why they
theory.
don't. Or are they interdimensional beings that can space jump back to Mars?
If they are indeed quantum Sasquatches, you know, we've got a whole new ball game on our hands. I mean, it's like a new frontier.
Well, maybe that might be why
Could
they.
explain vampires.
Is that why we have a
and
space
elves.
force now?
Well, a lot of people think that
I can't think of a
Sasquatch.
better reason.
A lot of people think that Sasquatch is able to evade capture.
Sasquatch from space.
Sasquatch is able to evade
We're gonna
capture
protect you.
because it's
Do you
an
have my
interdimensional space.
Do you have
jump.
my Space Force video? Do you have my Space Force video?
No,
You gotta cue it up my Space
Oh
Force
my
video.
God. God.
Look it up. It's,
All right,
it's-
well look it up. You gotta look it up.
We got a Space
So-
Force video.
Yeah,
So-
it's on my Facebook channel.
Oh,
It's,
we'll get it.
I
it's,
also
yeah,
I like to think
5,000
of
views or something stupid.
I like to think of Bigfoot in the aspect of you know what's the other mythological creature that we've kind of always had throughout history and every culture was giants.
Giants, yeah.
So
Fucking
what if
giant,
really Bigfoots and giants are one and the same or semi-related?
Do you believe that there were giants here?
Well, I mean, there's some really big doorways and staircases. And stuff,
Huge doorways.
right?
I'm
I mean,
saying
what are they making those
huge.
for? Right?
Not us.
Yeah.
Not
us.
little old me.
Dinosaurs?
It's
Did
not
they
making them
have?
for Ralphie? That's for sure.
Did they have pet dinosaurs? That is the
Yeah.
question.
Um,
Oh, I bet if I just search Mikial Robertson Space Force, it'll probably pop up.
oh, that's probably not a bad idea. Look at that. So smart.
Ooh.
Go to videos.
It's
To distant place and time and Space Force coming soon.
yeah, that's just not showing up, is it? It's a video
go to
actually
videos.
too. Yeah.
Videos.
And
Oh, hey, that's you live with us.
Yeah, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're
That's
one of those
great.
people, please come over
which is
to
fantastic.
One of
Twitch.
those 7 viewers.
come on. So
Keep going, keep going. I do a lot. There's some videos of the band. There's some 3D
Mikhail does do a lot of
animations.
videos.
There's some
Man, we're looking for-
lessons.
we're looking for Space Force.
We're look there. No,
We're looking for
no,
space
keep
force.
going. It's pretty obvious. It's super cheesy looking.
There it is. Space Force.
This one?
breaking news.
No,
No?
no, it can't be it.
Nope, that's not by Mikial.
No, there. Nope, keep going.
Oh, that,
Now
nope.
my cat plays piano. That's pretty good.
How is your
It's
cat?
unbelievable. She's doing great, Bigsby.
Bixby's
It's really a short video. She plays piano, but let's keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh my God, you would think that it would pop up.
Yeah, I can't believe all these videos. It's driving me bananas.
They actually deleted it because they don't.
No.
They want to censor
Because it's
your
that
knowledge
good.
of the Space Force.
Do you think that alien disclosure is coming, and that that's why they're making the space forces so that they can send us out into space to fight the aliens?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's it's an effort to protect us from ourselves.
Really?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
once they get it into the hands of AI,
Tell you what,
it's a
we have these
self-fulfilling
guns, but we're gonna hold
post-apocalyptic
on to these
prophecy.
guns so we can protect you from them.
It's definitely in those up, down, and up in those videos. Crazy.
Go to his
I don't-
photos. Go to his photos.
I did, but it doesn't show videos.
Dude, I'm telling you, they
censored it.
go. Yeah. It does.
Is it in albums? Oh, videos. Here we go.
Now we're
These
in
are all
my
your
videos.
videos.
Now
Now
we're
we're
talking.
now we're talking.
Now we're fucking talking
Yeah,
here.
keep going. You'll find it. It's a little bit older. Yeah, keep going. Oh, that's what made a pick levitate. That was pretty good.
I liked your
look,
little
there's-
Space Force, like your
Oh,
red
check out this,
velvet with
guys.
the-
Here we
That's
go.
what I'm talking about.
Let's check this one out. Here's an animation Mikial made.
I made that for the boys. Yeah. That was a quickie, man. Like,
Let's show
I
you
did a
guys
lot
what
of
it's
time.
talking about. Here. Let me pull up this display caps real quick. I gotta move it to the other TV. Jim Smithers just subbed. Did somebody gift that?
Yep, Miss
Oh,
Twiggy.
yeah, Miss
Thanks,
Twiggy.
Miss Twiggy.
Miss Twiggy, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
No,
go.
that Space Force should have been easier to find. I was
Here we
like,
go. Check out.
Yeah.
Check this out.
They just fucking scrubbed you, dude. They scrubbed you right out of there. They said Mikhail's
I have
onto
to
some
close the
shit.
camera. Check this out. He made this animation for Glostik. Look at this. We need to take this. Can you send me that file?
Sure, man.
So I can add it to the stream.
Yeah, I'll update.
It'll be a scene.
I'll give you a freshie.
Oh, look at
I'll
that.
break it down. Yeah.
That's
I think it was
fucking
the- Yeah,
awesome,
that's
dude.
what
Let's
I
watch
thought,
it again. Look at that, guys. Holy shit.
yeah.
It's like Buddha after he says welcome to the family at the end of the stream.
Yeah, a little chuckle. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, brothers. Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
Took his skull, stretched his teeth out, made him green, got the pipe in there, made the sunglasses, and then I spun him around, did a smoke simulation. You know.
That's fucking badass, dude. It's fucking awesome. We need to use that. All right, let's go back. Let's find a Space Force.
Yeah.
Then
There
we'll
it
get to
is.
jam it.
There it
What,
is.
This one?
No, Space Force. Right
Oh,
next to it. That's it.
Oh shit, I'm blind.
Don't move right there.
Oh.
We got.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on, people. I'm not even putting our
This is
camera
when I had
angle in this.
a couple personal problems that I've solved since then.
I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving this up for you.
Don't move right there. We got you surrounded. You just save yourselves. I hold them off as long as I can. Space Force. America. I thought I saw something. I'll protect this planet.
Yes. So are you enlisting in the Space Force?
Oh yeah, scroll up. I'll show you. I'll show you where it went from there.
Oh
this
my
will be
God.
the end of it. I swear. Back to the main selection. Yeah. And go up. Keep going. Past the space alien guy. Past that.
What's the word on that space alien
This
guy?
one?
No,
No.
keep going.
I love the judge too. I really
going.
love.
Wait a minute.
I think we need
Scroll
to bring
back.
the
Scroll
judge
back. Scroll back. It's no. Look for the one that's long. Look for like something that's like about a minute long.
39 seconds.
A minute
Nope.
7.
A minute 7.
This one's something on
That's guitar
subatomic
pick.
level.
No,
Guitar
keep
pick
going.
on
Scrolling up.
That video was
What about
funny
that
too.
spaceship? How long is that? Oh, there it is.
6 seconds.
The bubbly news.
This one?
Hit that one. Yep.
This
That's
one
it.
right here?
Yep. Hit that.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Let me get this. Let me
Yeah,
get
this is now. This is 3D animation. I did the soundtrack. I did the CG. I did everything here with the except for my buddy John did voiceover.
Let's check it out.
Flying around in my spaceship, drinking a cup of coffee. Just another day, night, or whatever. We got a strange voice. That strange voice will forever change my life. I knew then my destiny would be to play this kick-ass flying V guitar made from ancient evil technology.
That's why you did the flying V.
Designed to
Yes.
fight evil forces.
What's up, Sham? Grim Jester, what's up, dude?
What's up, Grimmy?
We would fly to distant planets, covered in weird volcanoes and crystals and bubbly news. Turns out, right behind some trippy flowers, there's always some dark overlord making evil plans
Oh,
to
look at
destroy
that.
the universe.
His fingers.
He always has some kind of evil little minion, super creepy looking. But we're not going to let him. We're going to stop them. Join Space Force.
Oh my god.
Join Space Force.
Join Space Force. That's. I actually think we have a Space Force member with us here in the studio.
Oh my God.
We do.
Oh my God, he's here. fresh
Commander
from-
Robertson.
Commander Robertson from the United States Space Force is here with us, and he's got his military issue Flying V.
It's the highest grade military issue Flying V that you can get.
Yes,
This side of Mississippi.
That
that's for
thing's
sure.
cold hard steel.
Look out.
Tell us about that thing, Mikial.
Hello, comrades. Space Force. Together. Finally, we can make a difference.
I will take my Flying V to the...
I think it's time that we jam like we've never jammed before.
Yes. We must fight the aliens with our shreds.
The alien, they come in the form of a microscopic virus.
When we get you on the stuff,
They're actually little tiny spaceships if you look at them under a microscope, but the government won't let us see them.
they're zapping each other. Yeah. So when we get over there, when we get over there, thanks, Doobie. When we get over there and we have you hooked up, I want you to play if you were like, the government came to you and they said, Mikial,
This is your last song.
this is it. These fucking aliens are coming to Earth. They are going to fucking annihilate all of us. We know that there is one specific guitar lick that will annihilate all of the aliens. What are you? And you're the only guy who can play that lick. What lick is it? We don't even know what lick it is, Mikial.
Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. We'll figure it out.
Yes. Oh, man, that's hilarious. That is awesome. So we got some mold. Ralph's mic stand is turned to mold. Ralph needs 6 feet between him and his microphone. Microphone's moldy. It spent too much time in the basement.
Damn.
I'll be damned.
Critical liftoff. Check. You're breaking up.
Commander Robertson. Please come in, Commander Robertson.
Everybody for themselves.
Come in, Captain Mikial. He's been floating in deep space ever since his ship was hit by a rogue asteroid. Extraterrestrials and rocks. Extraterrestrials and rocks. Burning gas.
Captain Robertson.
Hit the ejector seat, Captain.
Put it in the microwave. Captain Robertson, put it in the microwave.
It's out of control. I can't control it. Battery 10%. Battery 10%. Breach in the outer hall. There's a breach in the outer hall.
Captain Mikial. Come in, Captain Mikial.
This
There's only
is
one thing.
Captain Mikial.
There's only one thing that can save you, Captain. If you look above you, there's a switch. You must find that switch and turn it on.